No, we don't have to.
We don't have that kind of. Was that the hint?
Yeah, that was like that's the move on hit right there.
Okay.
That's the next topic hit.
The next topic.
Yeah.
Well, since we are moving on, today is
Wayne's Day.
Day.
Cheers
Let's
to
drink
that.
up. Cheers to that.
It's like
Cheers to
Wayne's
New
Day
Year.
every day almost.
It really is. It's almost like Harry's Day.
Almost.
You know,
Almost.
Cheers.
it's only Sasha only has Saturday.
She's only got the
still
one. Yeah.
day.
I gotta
Yeah.
work.
You know.
Hey,
Don't
me
we
too.
all? Don't we all?
Speaking of Wayne's Day, coming down here tonight, did anybody know it was a Red Wings game?
Can't tell.
I did because Brian Williams
oh,
had
that's
said
right.
that was why he wasn't going to be here because he's a big Red Wings guy, and so he's down at the game. Shout out to Brian Williams, who's in the hood but not in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you not aware of the Red Wings?
I did not know until Brian. I got that same message.
Right.
But it got me to thinking about maybe a quick conversation tonight for the podcast is the new Detroit. Because I saw the sign coming down on the lodge, and it said hockey traffic exit at Grand River.
Yeah.
And it started to bag up almost before you got to the Wayne State exit. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this new Detroit is something else to where the signs dictate where you go. I said, but I'm a Detroiter.
Of course.
So I just jumped on the side streets and came on down without any traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But it really got me to thinking about the new Detroit and just the participation of those of color for the culture in a city that's 85% minority, and wondering how much of that percentage is enjoying the new Detroit in terms of prosperity, as well as just enjoying the new restaurants and bars and beers, and we've got a few new beer clubs down here.
We do.
Yeah.
And the question becomes, how many of that 85% can afford to participate?
And that's the key right there.
In that activity. It's expensive, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's expensive to go to a Red Wings game or a Pistons game. It's not
$40,
just
$50
going.
parking.
Right.
Right.
You got to park.
Yep.
You got to eat. You need tickets to the game. All of those things cost money. And, the newer restaurants that are around, these aren't cheap places.
Nope. No, they're not.
So,
I mean, heck, how much were those wings you just bought, Grady?
Oh, $11.
Wow.
For 5 wings, by the way.
Yeah.
They were good. Don't get me wrong.
They are
were
good.
They were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
And that's humble in comparison, again, to some of the, prices that I'm not going, bust anybody out, but some prices at some of the other restaurants that are in the area. You kind of have a captive audience because it's either you eat before you get down here and you're hungry after the game, or you come before the game and you eat before the game, but then you're hungry after. So really, the spaces down here really are making money kind of hand over fist.
Yep.
But again, the question becomes who's benefiting from that as well as who's participating.
Well, let's also talk about, with that 85%, let's focus more, since we're Brewz Brothers, on the new beer establishments that are down here. We've got Founders, which we've touched on
Yep.
Yes.
in a not so favorable light
Yeah.
on a few occasions. I'm sure we'll bring that back up because they're still.
Yeah, as developments come, we'll talk about that more. But they've certainly benefited from the new Detroit, and they really kind of got on the train as new Detroit was developing, really kind of in step with, again, those other restaurants and the stadium construction and all of that. So they're kind of right in the thick of things, in Midtown, right, kind of adjacent to the Masonic Temple and, all of those sorts of things. So
We've got our friends around the block at 8 Degrees Plato.
8 Degrees Plato.
It's a great spot.
Yeah.
Who shut down their Ferndale location.
Did
you know
shut
that?
down?
Yes.
I was not aware. That's got to be a
Ferndale
kick to
location.
you. That was your spot, yeah?
We were just there a month ago.
Ferndale shut down December 31st was
Okay.
their last day of business.
I was not aware.
And I don't know what happened. I don't know if the Detroit spot just became that much more successful
Yeah.
in terms of carrying 2 spots.
Right.
I know in the different counties you had Oakland County for
Right.
Ferndale versus
Yeah.
Wayne County
Right.
for the downtown Detroit spot. So, I don't know who's the distributors. I know sometimes different beers at the different stores.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know all the details, but from my understanding, it was just a matter of cost.
Well, that, and all the cool kids are in Detroit.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, so
85%.
85%. All the cool kids are here. And so when the cool kids go where the cool stuff is, and Detroit is becoming that, at least portions of Detroit,
Yes,
from
it is.
Midtown South on Woodward,
Yeah.
and kind of that area. Like I said, that's becoming kind of where the cool kids hang out, and it's even for those who were maybe frequenting 8 Degrees in Ferndale, a couple more miles down Woodward, and you're right here. So
You're here.
True.
Right.
I would imagine that for them,
I know I did both. So
Right. So I would imagine for them, it was also a matter of proximity. It's not like they were hours apart.
right.
I mean,
right.
20 minutes down Woodward, and you're at
It wasn't in
either
Canton or
spot.
anything like that.
No.
You know.
Unfortunately, right?
Would be nice.
Would be
and,
wonderful.
And our would be great too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
You got World of Beer out there, Grady. So
Ann
quit
Arbor's
trying to
No,
be great.
no,
We
we
got
don't.
World of Beer.
Hey, shout out to Andrew Klein.
Hey, look, you guys have well to be.
Your favorite waitress is still there, from my understanding.
You know what? Shout out to Ed Reed.
You know.
Making
Yeah,
it a great
so-
evening.
yeah.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Have we told that story?
I don't think so.
I don't know it.
You
Should
don't
we
know?
wait
Oh.
till Andrew- Should we wait till
Well,
Andrew Klein comes on, or should we tell
Maybe,
it
maybe
now?
we will, because maybe
Yeah,
Andrew can shed
yeah.
some light
Yeah.
on
I,
how
I would
that-
love to speak to him personally about
Yeah.
that.
Well,
missed-
you know what?
missed the
You
share
should have
there.
came out.
You
I
missed
wanted to
that
touch on
too.
that too. You should have came out the
Well,
other day.
Let me tell you.
You've just been AOL.
Let me say. Let me say this. So this holiday has been great in terms of
Good.
having time off,
Excellent.
spending time with family. Extended family. It's been great. But I'm gonna tell you this.
Nobody called us say AOL, not AWOL.
I did. I just wasn't
I
going
was gonna let it ride. Well, I know what the brother meant. I was gonna let it
AOL.
ride.
Oh, God.
Come on, come on, see.
Wayne still got an AOL email.
Oh,
I do.
Big Show Wayne. AOL.
Big Show Wayne.
why do you still have that, man?
Why not? It works.
Okay,
Oh,
back
God.
on task. So, spending time with family, and it's been great. I mean, I my son is 21, so I took him out for his birthday.
Yeah.
Got him drunk as a skunk.
Okay. What'd you guys drink?
We drunk. Well, I got to give him my favorite, Maker's Mark and water. Got to
Okay.
have that.
All right.
Got to have that.
All right.
And then
Maker's Mark is water, isn't it?
No.
No.
Just a little bit of water. I like. Let's say change
How
the
do you
notes.
tell the difference?
See how drunk you get faster. But we did that, and then I've had just an abundance of libations.
Yeah.
Me too.
I need a rest.
I
Yeah.
hear you.
I needed a rest.
Give
so,
your stunt liver a
yeah,
rest.
the stunt. Yeah, he told me it
Yeah.
was time to let it go.
I got you.
So I put
I
it
got
down
you.
for just a day.
I saw y'all were drinking some Kelp, man.
It's my first time having it.
You know what? I'm not a cognac guy,
Man,
but if I'm going to do it, that's what I'm going to do. Between that and the Pierre Ferrand.
I've had that.
Yeah.
But Kelp was amazing, and for what I understand, it's ocean aged,
It may
Yes,
be. It may
is.
very well
It
be.
is.
and
Yeah.
it was particularly smooth. It's one of those things that,
Now you got to try the Kelt XO next.
You got to do it.
well, the way my bank account is set up,
Well, one of my
Uncle
good
Wayne
brothers
might have one. I don't know.
was living in Chicago and would bring me a bottle back whenever
Okay.
he came back. And that's how I got turned on to it. And it really is the only cognac to me. Again, that with the Pierre Ferrand is really about the only ones that I will voluntarily drink.
yeah. So,
If I'm somewhere and they just have cognac, I'll figure it out,
so shout out to Jeremy Dansler, who's part of Brewz Brothers as well. He brought the bottle in, and I told him, I said, this is the kind of bottle that, first of all, it's not going to leave the house, so don't take it home with you.
Right.
'Cause
Right. Understand it's
liquor
here, it's
is
going
for
to stay here.
sharing.
Yes, indeed.
And it becomes part of the house.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
the first rule.
Yep.
Second, something that would keep in rotation. So I would actually go buy some more. As a matter of fact, I probably will buy a bottle. So
You know
maybe
what, man?
Sasha come over and visit.
You
and-
mentioned
Let me know.
something, man. You mentioned something about bottle stand at the house
Oh.
and etiquette, man. Many years ago, my lovely now wife and I hosted an event, a little holiday event, at what was her house at that point. We weren't married yet, and somebody brought a bottle of Bailey's, and so the party clears. I'm like, bet I'm get some Bailey's. I got some bourbon I can pour in it. Look up and the Bailey's is gone.
Nope.
Because said guest took the bottle with them.
It's called bad etiquette.
That's poor etiquette.
Terrible etiquette.
Yeah, if it's at the house, it's part of the house.
If
I
you
mean,
bring
it, you leave
even
it.
at
That's
shares,
right.
if I
You bring
bring
it, you leave
beer, I don't take beer back
No.
home. It just stays in the cooler. It's
Right.
The community cooler becomes part of the
Right.
share. If you
That's
choose
the
to bring
etiquette.
back to the next share,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms of bringing it, taking it away, no, I don't. I never do that.
Doesn't work that way.
Never.
Doesn't
Never.
work that way. I go places expecting for my bottle to not come back. It's a gift to the house, if
Yeah,
nothing else.
yeah, yeah.
Even if it doesn't get opened, it's a gift to the house.
Well, I want to bring back the gift to the house since we got off my 85% topic.
Yes.
So let's bring it back around.
Yeah,
let's bring it
and
back.
a gift
Yep.
to the house. And, a gift to the city are the new businesses,
Mm-hmm.
the new establishments. And back on the beer list, we spoke of Founders, 8 Degree Plato's. We've got Batch,
Yeah.
Yes.
Batch Brewery. They're doing some good things.
They are.
Over
I
there.
want to touch. I'll touch on something with them later on. But yeah, Batch is doing some great stuff, and they got a really good program going on now. Like I said, I'll touch on it a little bit later.
We've got down in Eastern Market.
Yep.
Eastern Market
Brewer.
Brewer.
Yep.
Yeah.
What am I missing? I'm missing a few.
Well, I mean, you still got Atwater who's doing some stuff.
Still got Atwater. Still got Motor City Brewing.
Motor City, yeah.
Still
Brewing,
got Traffic Jug and
Traffic Jam
Jam
and Snug.
and Snug.
Yeah.
I just
Jolly
I
Pumpkin.
jugged it.
Yeah, you did.
Snug
Jolly
Jug.
Pumpkin. So yeah, there's no certainly no shortage of places to get beer in the area. But again, the question becomes who's getting that beer.
Yes.
And again, how are we generating? And we kind of always seem to kind of circle back to this. How are we generating interest in that 85% number?
Right.
And how much attention is being paid to that 85% by these establishments?
See, and I think that's where the dilemma lies. Because you look at Founders, for example, and again, we'll continue to beat them. They've had their position for an officer of inclusion since the summer. It's 6-7 months later, and that position is still open. I mean, are there no candidates available? Well, I know we've got some maybe on this podcast.
Maybe,
but
right, maybe somebody that's been doing it for 20 years,
I've got to say, in your arena, there's plenty of qualified candidates to fill that position where it shouldn't take almost over 6 months to fill it.
It shouldn't.
And that, again, belays the dilemma in terms of who are they trying to get, and are they making a serious attempt to bring some of the 85% in, or are they happy without it?
And at that, even whenever they do manage to fill that position, the person they fill it with and that person's background is going to say a lot about how seriously they take that endeavor.
But what you
Or
say,
not.
the 8 months is an indication of how serious they're taking it?
Well, this is the thing. So you figure 8 months for part of that, because the kind of harbinger, if you will, the issue that really sparked all of this happened in the beginning of October.
Right.
So even at that, we're looking at almost 3 months now.
True.
And
True.
so
So
Wayne
the position
and
was
I,
open before
right,
the incident happened.
right. So Wayne and I talked about this. If it were me, and having been in the industry, if it were me and something like that happened with my company or establishment, at very least, I'm bringing in a consultant to say, hey, until we fill this role permanently, we need some help on some strategies. Because my conversation was, if it were a financial issue, if we looked at the books and said, hey, we are hemorrhaging money, we got to bring somebody, we got to get rid of whatever financial officer is in charge. We got to get them out of here and bring somebody in here who can assess what's going on and remedy this hemorrhaging of money that we got going on.
Right.
So you can bet that if it were about capital, if it were about straight up direct capital, it would have been addressed on the spot.
Right.
So again, the question becomes, how important is it relative to that? And I think we've got our answer. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's never my intent to beat up on any, local establishment or any other establishment for that matter. But the facts kind of are what they are.
Do you know if there was an official statement that was released by Founders?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Not that I've seen either. So I shouldn't say they didn't.
And
I think that's
Well, that's why I said official.
And I think that really helps the problem not go away. Because they're like, it's almost like let's just sweep it under the rug, and they'll just forget about it.
But that's not happening.
No.
And not just locally. We've seen in some national groups where there's really some
Founders does not know how bad they're catching it on a national level.
No, they have no idea.
I mean, at least with our community.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
we know anything about the structure of that company and why something like this would take that long? Something about where I work, which is significantly bigger.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
8 months is not a long time
No.
to get something together. But they're also smaller than where I work. So do they have a board that needs to approve this? Anybody know anything about that?
I don't know how that structure goes.
Yeah.
However, I do know that if the CEO and whatever officers make it a priority, it'll get fast tracked.
Yeah.
Because again, if we were talking about something that was about direct capital,
Yep.
if we were talking about a financial situation, it would have been remedied by now, or at very least have something in place to remedy it. And again,
I mean, did it take almost 8 months to get rid of Donald Sterling?
I think it moved a lot faster than that, didn't it? Well, technically, it took about 25
And that's
years.
a huge conglomerate over there.
Hey, and I'll tell you, kudos to Donald Sterling, because he was like,
Hey, come get me.
I know where my bread is buttered, and this is our league can't take this hit. I don't
You mean
care how
Adam
many.
Silver.
I'm sorry, Adam Silver. You are
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
Adam Silver. He recognized that, hey, this
Addressed
just
it.
is not a good look
No.
for the NBA.
That's how you address a situation.
Quickly.
Problem.
It is.
He
It
handles
is.
it, hit it head on, didn't sidetrack.
and did it publicly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very publicly.
Well, do you think it's because there's still some litigation going on, possibly, with founders?
That could
and
be
that,
it.
Could
and
be.
that could possibly say, hey, well, let's table it until this thing.
But even
I
at
mean,
that, there's a way to craft a statement that says, hey,
Agreed.
there's some litigation going on, so there's really only so much detail we can give. However,
Right.
we want everybody to know that our establishment is welcoming to everyone, and we don't ever want anyone to feel unwelcome, whether they be employees or customers. Boom, that's your statement right there.
And that's what I mean. And
Somebody
that's
to
why I
hire
use
Harry.
the
Yeah, tell
Donald
you.
Sterling
Yeah.
analogy is
Cut the
because
check.
in terms of litigation, you can't tell me that there was not litigation going on with $1 billion team.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever happened with the hiring incident, I'm sure it's not $1 billion case.
Oh, no, it's not. For
You-
sure. For sure.
You know, so yeah.
I mean,
Fathers, if you're listening, you might want to call Harry. I mean, you know, not just to plug Harry, but
Y'all got my number.
it makes sense what he's saying.
but
Yeah.
or maybe our dollar is not valuable to them. I mean, and at the end of the day, we maybe say that to them.
I wrote that to the CEO in my
I
email
mean,
to him.
and that's fair. And that's fair. If you don't think my dollar is valuable, I can go somewhere else.
And that was part of
And
the,
I've already done that.
And that's part of the conversation that Wayne and I had,
Yeah.
and quite honestly, part of the conversation that I've had in my email communications with people at Founders. And what I said was, I don't know how big of a market share people of color and allies to people of color
Yes,
are
I say that. Yep.
in your bottom line. And if you value that particular percentage, whatever it might be, whether it's 1% or 98%,
Right.
you would address this quickly, but not only quickly, thoroughly.
Yeah.
And speaking of welcoming, you know, I guess I just want to segue a little bit again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little concerned with Sasha today
Okay.
because, you know, she's brought this bread pudding
Yeah.
and it's got this nice sauce over it and she's got this almond challah bread.
Holla.
Challah bread. Okay.
Challah bread.
Challah.
Get it straight.
Challah.
Yeah.
And she's brought this almond challah bread.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'll use an example.
Mm-hmm.
I brought beer.
Mm-hmm.
I opened the beer up.
Right.
Wayne, which one would you
Poured
like?
it
I
in
poured
cups.
the beer. I poured it in cups.
Right.
You came in. You had a cup of beer.
Yeah, he
I
did.
did.
He was
I
very
didn't even
violent
see
today.
it.
You
Right.
know, and
Right.
by the
Was
way,
that welcoming?
Happy New Year, everyone. By the way.
Right. Happy 2019. And just real quick, sounds like Bernard is on the line. What's going on, brother? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to y'all. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, I got to say, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you next month, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to making that trip out there. I'm not looking forward to putting on a winter coat for the first time in 12 years.
Oh,
but
here we go.
Right.
Here we
Right,
go.
right.
You know,
Hey, man,
With
it's
the-
a balmy
with the
45
Here we
today,
go with
man.
the humble brag, right?
right. Talk
The
about
humble
welcome.
brag.
All right,
Just
Wayne.
say you're happy to be coming home.
Yeah.
That's it.
I am. I'm definitely.
Yeah, man. Home. We. You know what? I actually, we did our annual year-end event over at El Mary's on Friday, and it was a good one, man. It was one for the books, man. I hate that you missed it. However, we'll have to try to replicate it in studio.
I think we can make that happen.
Lord.
Definitely.
Make it happen.
Didn't mean to have that big of a reaction to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so.
So Sasha's
Sasha's
I'm
can't hear, but
serving up-
Sasha's putting the bread pudding on
Do you want
plates.
a little more sauce? Are you good?
I'm good.
Oh,
That's-
it does
that's-
good.
It does exist.
It
It
does.
does
It
exist.
does exist. And we're on Facebook Live. Can somebody put a post out that we're on Facebook Live right now?
we could do that.
Am I serving everybody at the
No,
table?
you don't have to
I've
serve.
got
no.
mine.
No.
I mean, I would like some banana pudding. I mean, some
I mean-
bread pudding rather. I would enjoy it.
And now
man,
you're looking.
okay.
Oh, you've had it before, though.
I have,
Yeah.
but you said serve, so I just want to make sure nothing implied, ma'am.
Nothing implied.
Okay.
Make
What
me
were you
stutter.
applying?
Hey, I'm just making sure it's all up and up
Christ.
because I get my own plate.
Gentlemen.
hey,
Hey, look, Mama said if you're hungry, get your own plate.
hey, that's and that's the truth.
So-
So you start waiting on somebody else to
Hey.
feed you, right?
But I would
you
like
said
to have
serve,
some.
not like
I will give you
Venus or
some.
Serena.
No, I
Wait.
didn't mean that.
Yeah, go sit down. Go wait on keep some here. So I don't know which one was which. Now I think the one on your on my right, I guess, is the challah.
Now, Sasha, from what I understand, there is maybe a touch of bourbon
A
in
little
this
bit.
sauce.
Just a little bit.
And what kind of bourbon did we use here?
So I used Eagle Rare because I was supposed to get some of the Elijah Craig.
Oh, the Brewz Brothers Elijah Craig.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
first one I made. The one you had, Grady.
That was
That
good
had
too.
But I didn't have time, or I don't know what happened. We just got our
It
wires
just didn't
crossed.
happen. All right.
So I didn't get it. But Eagle Rare's good. Sorry, Eagle Rare's good stuff too. So.
Eagle Rare is good stuff. I actually just finished off a store pick from Cliff and Kelly over at the Wine Palace. I finished off that bottle yesterday, and I have forgotten how good of a bottle it actually was.
You guys might not like this. I'm
You
just
just
You gonna
gonna
take the
take
rest
the
of
rest?
it?
I appreciate you.
You
Thank you,
are
ma'am.
welcome.
I'll take the rest with me. I mean, I wouldn't want to put you guys through it.
Let me give you a napkin
And-
there.
and-
So
and-
Bernard, as we're parceling out bread pudding, what's going down down there in Houston, man? I the last time we talked, you were saying that Brash was doing something big for the end of the year.
Yeah, they released 3 stouts last week, and then they've got a collaboration that I believe is Wee Heavy Scotch Ale that's getting ready to come out sometime next week.
Okay.
Um,
Well, knowing how Brash gets down, that's going to be a really wee heavy.
I have some Abide of 2018, and what else do I have from them? I
Is
think Hammer Smash Face, which was the Imperial that they
Okay.
put out.
Yep.
This is the
So
brewery
those
that I've
are
been wanting to try, right?
shipped ahead
Brash?
of me or in my carry-on luggage when I reach Detroit.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure that carry-on luggage is well padded.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
No, I don't know. You can't have it in this carry-on. It won't make it
Right.
through.
Right.
You gotta have it in your check,
Check bag. Yep.
in your check bag.
If there's anything we know, it's how to transport.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
one
so
thing we can
so
transport.
let's
it,
make
can't we?
sure we're on Facebook Live right now, and we're doing it for the culture.
Yes.
Man, this
And
bread
Bernard,
pudding is-
don't you
it's
lose
legit.
those, on a carry-on. Check that luggage.
Most definitely will.
Is this a sneak visit, or am I going to have a chance to meet you in person?
You're going to be in studio.
No, for roughly a week.
Maybe.
So if you're at, we're planning some type of get together while I'm there.
Yeah.
I expect to see you.
I expect a formal invitation.
Oh,
It's already. It's been
Yeah,
tendered.
you
This is
do.
your
Yeah,
formal
yeah,
invitation.
All right.
and see what you don't know behind the scenes. Bernard is my vinyl broker. He's hooking my brother up.
That's not surprising at all.
Yeah, man, he's hooking me up.
Sasha,
Yes.
you've been
I
served.
appreciate it too.
Yeah.
That's about as formal as it gets.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Fine. All right. I wanted some calligraphy or something, but I'll take it.
Can you write in calligraphy?
That's it.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
I haven't told you I am not crafty. I have not an artistic bone in my body.
Dang.
I might be able to do a little calligraphy.
This was not surprise me.
Yeah.
We do all the things.
Well, I do what I can.
Yeah.
I'm a Renaissance man, if you will.
You wanted to be one, didn't you?
I did not. I knew it. Hey, that's why I look. I did not. I absolutely did not. I absolutely had no desire to attend that high school at all.
I've heard a lot of technicians claim that same thing, and deep down they know the truth.
Way deep down.
Do we have a King, Cass, and Renaissance in the same room?
We do.
I went to King.
I went to
Did you?
Southfield Christian.
Oh, well, okay.
Hey,
I'm
man,
Detroit
hey,
Urban
don't-
Lutheran.
Where's that?
12 in Lasser. Not Lasher, it's Lasser.
Lasser. Yeah.
Lasser.
That's
Never
right.
heard of it.
It's a great school.
It's right next to
At
Six Mile.
King, Renaissance, and Cass, it's called Lasher.
I know. When you cross 8 Mile, the name changes. I understand that. So I had to make sure I gave you the correct
Oh.
pronunciation of the word.
So
Lasser.
The private school kid.
Yes.
I wanted to
Yes.
touch on something real quick. You mentioned Batch Brewery, and I was listening to our brethren over there at Better on Draft, and they had the crew from Batch on a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know if you're familiar, but there was an equipment company that basically went out of business.
Yeah.
And some breweries lost quite a bit of money in not having their equipment delivered, but they paid for it. So, in an effort to recoup some of that cost, Batch has put together a program for, I do believe it is $120.
Right.
You can get an exclusive Batch release every month. And it's exclusive to people that join the program, and it's going to help them recoup some of the costs that they lost in getting that equipment. So if you go to Batch Brewery on Facebook, on their website, they'll have the details on how to get with that program. You won't have to wait in line or anything for those beers. If you're part of the program, you just go whenever you get there, get your beer, and be out. And again, and those beers are exclusively for those that participate in that program.
Wouldn't mind doing that. They make good beer there.
I mean, it's $10 a month essentially.
Yeah, I blow that at a bar. 10 minutes.
I was gonna say you blow that when you pull up.
10 minutes.
Right.
Say, Grady, what are some of your favorite beers from Batch?
Dick Smasher in the rye. Because everyone's going to say
In
it.
the rye, yeah.
I'm sorry, speaking of microphone, what was that one, Grady?
I'm not saying it again.
Why
So,
do I
yeah.
feel like if I wasn't here, you'd have said it?
Well,
I was waiting.
you know, they
I'm-
also are working on a new facility on Milwaukee.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, in the New Center area, if I'm not mistaken.
I've never
So they
had
got
any
some-
of their beers.
Oh, you've never had anything from Batch?
have not.
We got to fix that. We got to remedy that.
Yeah.
All right.
I
You
think
know, I got
that
a
Wayne
couple-
probably
I
has.
know I saw some at Holiday
Wayne has everything.
Market.
I know
one there.
Wayne's got a bunch of them. I have some. I think I still have one can left of the OPG IPA, which was one of my favorite beers of the year. I really enjoyed that one. I had it on tap at 1 Under. Shout out to Rob Everett, who was cool enough to grab me a pack from over at Steve's in Hamtramck, because I never get over that way.
Well, okay.
So yeah, it's good stuff. They're doing good work over at Batch.
For the bread pudding and a challah bread.
That's the one you like.
Man,
that one.
listen.
That's the one.
I thought those were
I like
Batch
them both.
Brewing.
I couldn't decide which one I liked best. So
Well, Batch Brewing can get a bell too. They do good stuff, and they're truly good
A
people.
bell, not multiple bell.
3.
Yeah, they're truly good
Multiples.
people. If you get a chance, go to the Better on Draft podcast and check out the episode that they did with Batch. Those guys are really cool, really down to earth, have some really good things to say.
Shout out to the Shandy Drinking Bet on Draft crew.
Oh yeah, Matt Bush. And they actually spoke a little bit about chauvinism and patriarchy in the beer world, like everything from
on that.
marketing and labeling to all of that. And they really did make some very salient points and talked a little bit about how they not only avoid that, but very intentionally counter that with some of the ways they name their beers and things of that nature.
Really?
Good people over there, man.
okay.
Listening to them on BOD actually made me more of a fan. I was already a fan of the beer, but listening to them and kind of their approach
They
to
do
beer.
some good stuff.
They do some good stuff.
I mean, they brought the 40 ounce back a couple years ago.
We had that when we went down there. We
Yeah.
had the brothers from
California.
California, and yeah, we had a special 40 wrapped in a paper bag.
They're doing some good community work too, man. Like I said, shout out to Batch, man. And actually, maybe we get them on here. maybe we get the folks from Batch to hang out with us, or maybe we go hang out over there, do something live over there, whatever.
Do something live over there.
Batch, if you're listening, we'll get with you and hopefully we can carve out some time. A lot of local spots, but
right now, March is open for the live broadcast.
Okay.
We know where we are in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know, a post is going up. We will be back at Ale Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you may have missed the Christmas party we had.
Grady,
missed
raise
it.
your hand higher than that, brother.
Grady.
There you go.
Grady missed it.
That means that everybody got to drink the beer, though. Because Grady wasn't there to Grady pour.
Yeah,
It
you
was.
guys.
Everybody tried everything. I mean, it was
There were
300 of us,
lots.
and one beer made it around the table. We thought it being a Grady pour.
Damn shame. Hell wrong with y'all, man.
Versus if it was 3 of us, that Grady pour, somebody's going to be left out.
Somebody, a couple of folks going to get
Well, I'll
left
tell
out.
you what, man.
Y'all going to witness it tonight. Just wait.
Right, yeah.
Oh, no. Look, see, I brought enough beer for everyone to share.
Oh.
And I have a theme behind this beer, too.
Oh,
Okay.
I got
Okay.
a theme. I have a theme.
okay, all right.
So, no, we'll be back over at El Mary's on the 16th.
Dinner with the
2
Brewz
weeks.
brothers.
Dinner with Brewz Brothers.
Yep.
Now, the first 100 people to sign up when
I'm
the
one.
post goes out. Right. I'm 1A. When the post goes out,
I
the
guess
first
I'm
100 people to sign up, come hang out and have dinner with the Brewz brothers. Now, we're not buying anybody dinner, but you can come hang out.
Come hang out.
And we're going to definitely drink some beer. We just popped open. What is this? We got this Firestone going around.
If Firestone's
Parabola?
going around now. No, this is the Velvet Merc.
Oh, I'm sorry, Velvet Merkin. This Velvet Merkin is going down real well with
What
this
is that,
banana.
Merkin?
I think
bread
so,
pudding.
too.
I don't know why I keep calling it banana pudding.
Is this a porter?
Is that what you want? Are you like
That's
a
all
banana
messed
pudding
up.
fan?
Okay.
I don't mind banana pudding, but this bread pudding with this bourbon sauce is
Thank you.
right on time.
Thank you. I do a little something. I burn a little bit.
That was,
Bernard, I don't know if
No.
there's going to be a portion left when you.
Bernard,
we're gonna have to talk Sasha into
I'm
making
still waiting
another
to see the
small
footage,
batch.
though. Because she
Make
might
sure
have
it's not
got this
store-bought.
prepared store-bought.
Oh, I said I was going
or-
to go live. And
Or she had her mom make it, and she packaged it up and brought it to us. And,
I'm going to tell you right now, my
You
mom
know.
did not. My mom doesn't do this.
okay.
She does not do this.
Okay, well, the jury's still out.
Let me get this straight. There's 2 bread puddings on the table.
There are.
There are.
No,
There is one made with challah, bourbon,
holla.
bourbon vanilla
You get me
almond,
now.
and then there's a traditional French bread bourbon vanilla, just regular. But I had some challah, and I was like, I should try this. So I tried it, and I thought I'd bring a little bit of both for you to try.
Not hating on it one bit.
No, I'm appreciative.
I've not had
Cleanse
this
my
before.
palate with this. Today
Either.
we seem to be palate cleansing with a
Oh, the dripper.
Dripper from Coonan, one of the
palate
OGs in Michigan beer. And so I think we traditionally palate cleanse with something like a Kolsch or a lager that's a bit lighter. But here we've got a 9%,
9.5.
9.5%.
Sessionable, by the way.
Anything is sessionable if you drink enough of them. A 9.5% IPA. And again, Dripper's always good. I've always been a fan of Dripper. I am excited that they canned it because you used to have to go somewhere and find it on tap and try to get a growler and all that kind of stuff. But the cans are. I was a little bit leery because a lot of times when places can stuff that they are just starting to can is not so great. Dripper's on point.
It's good.
It's good. This is
Some
my first
point.
time trying it.
Is it?
I've been eyeing it. I just
So
buy it.
if you ever, you at Fraser's, they have it probably quarterly. I mean, it's
yeah.
always there.
Well,
So-
now I live on the other side of the world. I can't go to Fraser's anymore.
Well, Sidetracks. Sidetracks is
It's
a good
true.
spot
Yeah, they
for
do.
a beer.
They do. They have some good
And
stuff.
they have some nice pours for about
They do.
$3.25.
Yeah, sidetrack will get you straight.
That's true. Oh.
You might walk out of there sidetrack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Walking sideways from the
Yeah,
track.
yeah,
Oh, boy.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, where's Sidetracks located?
In
Ypsilanti,
on
yeah.
Cross Street, right?
Depot Town.
Depot Town, yeah.
Right by
Depot
the
Town,
tracks.
yeah.
Right by the tracks.
Is that the one right next door to?
They
Cultivate.
share.
Yeah,
They got a good little burger at Sidetracks, right?
They do.
Oprah loves them.
They are
Okay.
consistently
Okay.
voted
Okay.
one of the best burgers around.
I know that.
Yeah.
Oprah's favorite things.
I've been to Sidetracks.
They also have a blazing redfish sandwich. That's
Really?
good. Yeah. The one at Traffic Jam is really good. The only one I've had that's been close is the one at Sidetrack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. They do good work over there.
Okay. Did I say generous pours too?
You did.
Yes.
Generous pours.
And by generous, you could get a 32 ounce of whatever you want at happy hour for like $3.25.
So I was there actually this week over break, and they had a new waitress there. She looked very new. So I asked for a Boss Tweed because they had it on tap.
She looked very new. How do you look very new?
Because she didn't know what the hell she was doing.
Sidetrack, right?
See, you always pushing me, man. I just want to say, all I want to do is drink beer and talk about beer, man. You always pushing me, man.
I'm just trying to figure out what does very new look like.
She had a pad and she couldn't figure out what to do. She had someone helping her out, so she looked very.
So she was in training.
Okay, you can say that. That's the political way.
Yeah.
No, she looked new. So.
Oh my goodness.
So she mistakenly gave me a 32-ounce pour of Boss Tweed.
She gave you a stein of Boss Tweed.
Yes.
A stein of tweed.
Yes.
Did you finish it?
Did you drink it?
Hell yeah, I finished it. I only needed one, but
I was gonna say by the time you got to the bottom of it, I'm sure you
it
didn't
was
need
great.
another
It was
one.
great. And
Shout out to Old Nation.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Old
And I
Nation.
gave her a nice tip too. I gave her a
you?
nice
Okay,
tip.
good,
Yes, I did.
good,
Yeah,
good.
'cause I
Well, then
knew
when
she made
she's
a
on
mistake.
shift, I need to.
Yeah, because she probably got fired.
When does she work again? Because a stein of
Right,
Boss
get
Tweed.
her schedule. Yeah, Bernard, we're gonna have to get you to some local spots when you get here, man. We're gonna have to
Yes.
figure out a crawl or tour of some sort.
Don't know if we
I'm
can
with
promise
it.
you a stein of
Especially
Boss
if,
Tweed.
Right, we can't promise you a stein, but
about.
yeah, we'll work something out.
I could promise a stein. I'll give him 2 cans and fill it up, man.
There you
I'll
go.
eat some.
Well, there it is. Now you got
Yeah, I got you a
you got
stein.
Grady got you a stein of Boss Tweed.
Yeah, got you covered.
Indeed.
For
So who's
$3.25.
driving?
Yeah.
Who's
driving?
Uber.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
I'm with
Uber, Lyft. Shout out to Ed
Yeah.
Reed. Ed Reed's a Lyft driver.
Where's Ed at?
We got the plug. I'm presuming he's somewhere out in listener land.
Okay, shout out to Ed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ed in listener land.
Ed.
Yeah. So, one of the things I wanted to get into, again, Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to 2019. I wanted to talk about what may have been some of our favorite beers of 2018. So, when I initially put my list together, it was very stout heavy. Like, I do believe that all of my top 5 were stouts.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that, but I don't want it to look like I don't like other styles. Because I do.
How many sours did you have on your list?
Let's see. 1, 0. Not nary a 1.
Oh.
Not nary a 1.
Venom.
But in no particular order, Cafe Death was in there. I really, really enjoyed that one. Of course, the barrel-aged Expedition Stout is on there.
It's almost just like a standard nowadays.
It is, right?
Yeah.
But it's good.
It's good. So definitely good.
But one thing I couldn't leave off, and I didn't want to, I could have easily included the entire
Bad Christmas
Gravity.
Elf?
No, not the Bad Christmas Elf. No,
Sorry.
that's well below my top 5 or my favorite. But I easily could have put every single beer in that Gravity series from Ellison on that list.
Really?
Yeah.
You liked every single beer that much?
The marshmallow was great. The hazelnut was amazing. The coffee was amazing, the one we had when we were at MCOD. And just even the regular bourbon barrel was great. So, having said that, I'd like to go around the table a little bit.
Are you? That's it?
That's my 5.
That's your 5?
That's my
Even though
5.
you named 8?
It's, you know what I'm talking about? And it's hard because beer is good. It's hard to just come up with 5, right? So I came up with I had Cafe Death, Barrel Aged Expedition,
12 Ellisons.
3 Ellisons. Thank you very much. And actually, I would remove the Barrel Aged Ellison and replace it with Palatable. I did really like Palatable this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sasha, what were your favorite?
I was not prepared for this.
Oh.
Not prepared. So I was looking at Untappd to see
None of us
what I rated those. This was the first time. This year was the first time I had the Bourbon County, and I
Okay,
really
let's
loved
think about
that.
Give her a bell for a first timer for Bourbon County.
First
Yeah, there we
timer.
go. I like that Dogfish had fruitful fort. That would no one seemed to really like that one, but it
a
was
good beer.
yeah, I
It's a good
liked it.
beer,
It's just
yeah.
like fruitcake. It was like really, it was good. I liked the Death Tar. It was the first time I had that this year. I gotta think. I've not had this one. I keep hearing the Electron Brown. I keep hearing y'all talk about that. So maybe that'll make my cut.
The barrel age was great.
Because I haven't had it. I can't think of any more. You put me on the spot. What'd you get? Oh, the Avery.
Was it the tweak?
Coconut.
Oh,
The
yeah.
tweak was wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that coconut one was really good. I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. Let me
And
think.
you know what
Couple
else
more
was on
minutes.
my list was the quadruple Baptist.
Yeah.
I had that on tap, which was really good.
Was it really?
good.
So I
Yeah.
had it in
Yeah.
a bottle.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
okay.
and double dunk. I don't know how.
I still haven't had that
That was
one.
my list,
Yeah.
man. See, here
Your,
ain't named 10.
your list was double dunk, double
Here's
dunk,
that.
double dunk, double
13.
dunk.
No,
I know,
no,
right?
no.
Like,
He
it's
said
hard,
5, and I was up
right.
to 13. You know, come on, man.
Beer shouldn't be so good, man.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that's true.
We are fortunate.
He's trying to get in on our list before we can get to our
I
list.
know.
I'm sorry.
You know.
I'm done.
That's why it went first.
that's why it went
Exactly.
first.
Got all mine out. I will
Yeah.
not add anything else.
Okay.
I will only agree with what comes next.
Okay. So is it my turn?
Sure.
It's your turn.
Okay. Well, obviously double dunk.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Just great he gave it
You
to
know,
you.
it was better in a bottle than it was on tap at when I
Okay.
It was.
I didn't really particularly care for it
Yeah.
on tap. And so I had to go back home and drink a bottle to reaffirm what I thought was great was indeed great. And it was.
Did you have to drink another bottle to confirm?
Yeah, I had about
The
3 or
real-
4.
Confirmation.
Yeah.
Science.
Science. You know,
That's
as a
all it is.
scientist, you have
Yeah.
to, you know.
I've not had this one. Is this? I'm imagining it being an Oreo cookie.
It's a liquid Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
It must be wonderful. All right.
It is. It is.
I think I know where there's one left.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm
is
sure
it at
that
your house?
Yes, it is.
I'm sure the
know where you are.
resources throughout the Brewz Brothers family could ensure that you get a
Yeah.
hold of a sample.
You all have certainly expanded my knowledge
Yeah.
of beer.
It
Hey,
empties
well-
your pockets too,
And
right?
oh my
Yeah.
God. Listen, my husband's listening to this.
Oh.
You can confirm that.
Shout out to Rico.
Hi, honey.
Did she really make the bread pudding, Rico?
Right.
Let us
Right.
know, Rico.
Is he in Brewz Brothers?
No, he is not.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say respond.
So
if you
now,
made the Brewz.
yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Don't text me.
I was gonna say we'll
It's-
get
We'll
it.
man.
Still
He's like,
questionable
you
on
don't
whether
say
she made
yes,
it or not. Right.
Oh, he says he's on the chat.
Oh, nice. All right.
Okay.
All right.
What's up, Rico?
He says his number one was green zebra. He loves that green zebra.
Oh, Green Zebra.
I hate it.
I liked it.
It
It's
was
a
too
good. It's a
sour.
good
It's
summer
salt
beer.
water.
It's sour.
Yes, yes.
See, it wasn't super sour to me. It was tart,
Ugh.
but not sour.
Tart, not sour.
So we got your double dunk at the top, Grady. What's your
Alright.
what?
Pina Colada IPA from
Oh, good call.
from Well.
From
man.
Well This Works.
Oh man,
Well, this works.
it's like when you open it up, you just know it's gonna be great, and then you take a sip. It's amazing how they're able to get the IPA up front and the Pina Colada in the back end. And I was like, I took a sip. I'm like, this can't be right.
Hey man, happy birthday,
Oh.
Daniel Hahn.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. Oh man,
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Yeah.
Great beer, great beer. I think I had to follow up with that one. I had another Pina Colada. They made a second Pina Colada. Was it a milkshake? That was just as good. A little bit thicker,
Okay.
but it was still great. And I'm gonna give a shout out to a brewery that I usually say bad things about them, but Holmes.
King Cobra.
Have you? No.
Man,
no.
Holmes-
That one should have
That's
made my
good.
list.
That's
That one should
good.
have
But
made.
the
It's my fifth.
swell.
Holmes IPA game is
Yeah.
tight. And that
Swell,
swell.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't taste that one.
Look, that was the beer that would make me buy a membership at that place.
Yeah,
Wow.
we have discussed this before.
That
When I lived down the
beer
street,
is
it
gr-
was a much better plan for me. We should talk about it again.
Yes, swell is amazing. Now, if they had that on tap, I'd probably live there.
Okay.
And it was just that good. I mean, it put. I mean, obviously, I can say Boss Tweed is great.
Of course.
Yeah.
In 43, I'm getting kind of tired. I think they need to step something else up at,
You
Old
bring this
Nation.
Well, that's
full
the
circle
staple,
back.
though. That's
Yeah.
the
It's
staple.
staple.
Yeah.
I want something else. I want something else to get excited about from those guys. But
All right.
Boss Tweed is always. If I see it, I buy it.
Well,
So
the
tap,
word,
I drink it.
the word on the street is that there may be something new coming from Old Nation.
Okay.
That whole Brute IPA deal.
I don't want that. Man. I heard some bad reviews already from my fellow fitness brother Adam. He said he had a Brute IPA. He was not a fan of it.
It wasn't the B43.
It's only one.
No.
Now, and I will say that I did enjoy. I liked the Brute that was from Eyeside. I think Adam
Okay.
didn't like it.
Yep.
I liked
Yep.
it, and I also had a Brute from Canton Brew Works that was pretty good too.
How's they doing over there, by the way? Are they?
They're doing well.
Okay.
I just something popped up in the group, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Some cans of one of their beers. I don't remember.
'Cause they're starting
I
canning
didn't,
now,
I
right?
didn't realize they
Right,
were canning.
right,
so
right,
yeah.
right.
And as much as they're right around the corner, I'm gonna have to See what's up.
I can meet you there instead of World of Beer.
Hey, sounds like a plan to me. I'm with it.
Might get favorable service.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah, okay.
You might. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your? So you got your top two.
I did my 5. I think.
What was
I did.
You said pina colada.
Yep. Pina colada milkshake.
Double dunk.
Double dunk.
Milkshake. Right.
Swell. And I always have tweed, man. Tweed is
Yeah,
always
Tweed.
my
Okay. Okay.
Tweed is on my.
All right.
And notice there's no stouts.
I did notice that. Mine was very stout heavy, so we're balancing it out.
No
here.
stouts.
Okay.
Stouts.
I mean, double dunk is a stout.
Okay, yeah, but okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
I mean, no stout.
That he lit off with double dunk. and
Started
said,
off
Well,
with. Grady, how many
Right.
beers have you had tonight?
1,
All
2,
of them.
3, 4.
Right. What's on the
What
table?
you got over there? Right.
I still might be drunk from the holidays.
Could
Dude.
be. Could be.
Man. So no, I have a theme over here
Okay. What's your theme, man?
because Ohio has been kicking our ass.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I have to give.
Great.
I'm gonna give them shout out to. I'm not gonna say the team, but even won the bowl game,
I can't even.
and Michigan just let me down. Even State let me down. I tried to watch State.
That's what you get for
0-0
trying.
in the third quarter. Come on, man. So what I did is I actually brought in.
I mean, you set yourself up pulling for state,
Right.
No, I just want somebody from Michigan to win, man.
and you relied on them to do
Eastern
it.
lost too.
See what I'm talking about?
Okay, Grady. Before you get in your theme, I'll run down my top 5. We can get
'cause you got-
Grady's
Yep.
theme after break.
Man.
And then we got to get Bernard's top 5 after break
Yeah.
too. So go ahead, Wayne, with your top 5.
Double dunk is on that list.
Okay, it's got to be.
It was a very good beer, and might be close to the number 1 for the year, but definitely top 5. I was going back through Untapped trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody, and something that no one has said at the table, and I can't believe no one's had it, but no one mentioned any Shrams on the list.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that Sarah was just
It
phenomenal.
was.
That Heart
Oh,
of Dark.
it
I
was.
mean,
It
So
really was.
are we Mead brothers now? I thought we were talking about beer.
Oh.
yeah, we are.
We talked about
Shit,
scotch
for
and
me, right?
bourbon and come
Right.
on.
Now, look.
We are equal opportunity drinkers.
Okay, remember that next time there's
Now, if we're
some
doing
Shrams
at
on
a
the
share,
table.
pass.
if we're doing
Everybody.
that, I got to shout out Jerry Stepp for plugging me with the standard mead with the vanilla and cocoa nib mead that he sent me.
Sounds good.
That's
So-
the only person we're going to shout out to if we're talking
Hey,
about
Bernard.
If we're talking about mead.
mead.
Bernard.
Oh well, no, we got to talk about. We got to give red beer a shout. But
Remember,
Oh boy.
if there's any mead at the share, that the bottle skips Harry. Since we're not mead brothers, the bottle skips Harry.
man,
at the
let me
share.
tell you something. The first bottle that skipped me, the table getting flipped over. Be the last beer or mead anybody has that night.
So
Sorry, Wayne.
back to, how can you leave FO off the list?
You can't.
I
did, but you can't.
FO is just phenomenal. I'm addicted to tweed. That speaks for itself. I looked at my Untapped, and I had 50 check-ins of Boss Tweed alone.
So you had a tweet a week.
I mean, that's what I checked
Right,
in.
right.
You checked in.
I checked in a tweet a week. I drank a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's to be debatable.
Yeah.
But I checked in a tweet a week. But I think my number 1 beer of 2018 was that drafting table. That Mallow Bean. That Mallow Bean was something else. That Mallow Bean from the way they.
Was it just because of the wax cap smelling like marshmallow?
I mean, that psyched you out.
Right.
So your psyche was already like, oh my goodness, this is.
Shout out to
just
Mark Vessel.
Just marshmallow. But then when you opened it, I mean, it was just a if it was a tad bit thicker, it could have been my all-time favorite beer. I mean, it was slightly thin compared to like the upper tier Hangies and those guys. But other than that, that's a phenomenal beer. And
That's how I feel about this year's version of the Imperial Neapolitan, which we have on the table here. The 16 version or 17, whichever was was phenomenal. This one's good, but the original version was you could almost chew it. It had such a consistency that this one is missing.
that's what you want. I mean, you want to be able to chew it. So
Yeah.
I guess after break we'll get back up to Bernard and we'll get to Grady's story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too. I'm taking it, man.
All right, so this is Brewz Brothers episode number 5, and we're going to head into a break real quick and stretch a little bit, pour some more beers, and we'll be back for the culture. Ohio beer, man.
Crazy. Come on.
Winston Johnson or something?
I lost a bet to one of his boy. Yeah, I lost.
Oh,
I owe 6 packs. So I'm gonna fess up. I owe 6.
Talk about you.
96 ounces of beer.
now we still hot on live, right?
We're still hot on live.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had to catch that.
Yeah.
said it's previously unreleased material that was recorded live in Detroit.
Because like I like yeah, have you heard of Eric Dolphy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he died last year. And you have I'm looking for Ornette Coleman.
He said it's been in the basement at WDET for all these years. That's what I just asked him if he's got a plug.
How much is that? There's also a cost. So much good jazz. And I also there's a lot of Detroit jazz. I've got Yusuf Lateef, Detroit album. What's it called? Live 242 Detroit. Oh, that's a good album.
I'm hip to Yusuf Lateef. I didn't know he had a.
Oh yeah, I'll post a picture.
Okay.
See the cover. It's basically a map of Detroit on the cover.
That's dope.
Yeah. Lynn Woodward. His collection. And I just got a album the other day. I haven't opened it yet. It's basically Detroit Jazz Festival.
Okay.
But it's presented by Stroh's Beer. So taking it crazy a little bit.
For sure. I just sent you he sent me a link. I just sent it to you.
Little Bill, I have to have a little Bill Evans too. Play with Miles Davis. He's a piano player for a while.
It's pretty dope. Good beer, good music, you know.
Yeah, you gotta do
Drink good, eat good, listen good.
that. Trying to grow up a little bit, man.
We all have to at some point. That's the word on the street anyway. Yeah, this Blue Mountain coffee is
This is good.
it's fucking legit. This might be the winner tonight.
I've also not had anything from WeldWorks.
What?
I know. I don't get the porch hookups like y'all do.
That's on you.
So-
Daniel Hahn is
All you
the
gotta do
plug.
is say you want it.
That's
And
it.
send him the money. That's all you gotta do.
That's it.
We're not friends like that.
Well, he's been a little less active since his nuptials. But I'm sure that there will be some more
Oh, this is really good.
stuff coming around.
It's not that price. It's not that bad actually. You can download. I don't want that. You can get the album. The vinyl's gone. Sold
Okay.
out. It's only 60 euros. But a 5 CD box set is 50, actually 30 euros. Don't want that. Or just do it on streaming online.
This is really good
SoundCloud.
with the bread thing.
It
Really
is.
good.
Compliments the beer pudding very well.
I'm out. Oops.
Yeah.
I clicked the wrong thing. Oops.
So is Rico officially amongst the fold now?
He is. I sent the invitation.
All right. Oh, we are still hot.
Yep. You can hear us talking.
Midtown facilities for Podcast Detroit. And we have popped open a couple of things while we were on break. One of which was this Champion Ground from Jackie O's.
Yes.
Which is a coffee stout.
Get some feedback.
Probably should put my headphones back on. This Champion Ground BA coffee stout with Blue Mountain coffee beans from Jackie O's. This is my winner so far.
It's a good beer.
So good.
It's great, and it has complemented this wonderful bread pudding in a way that I did not necessarily imagine because it's so coffee forward. And coffee and dessert are certainly a welcome combination.
Especially in my house, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. And now I'm on this Electron Brown from Old Nation, which is certainly a favorite of mine. The IPAs get a lot of pub from Old Nation, and deservedly so because they're good. But this Electron Brown is definitely something you want to check out if you are into brown ales.
Do you have to go to the brewery to get this?
You don't. It's very recently been made available in some select stores. I know my folks over at Superfine had it.
It's my first time having it, and I'm
me
impressed.
too.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Hearing
folks
good
over
things.
at the folks over at Holiday and Royal Oak also keep it on the shelves.
Okay.
So, and the cool thing about Holiday is that you can buy it in singles. So
Yes.
I love that.
Uh-oh.
shout
a
to
six-pack.
Ashley Price,
Yeah.
breaking up anything, put it in a single.
Agreed. I mean, because I can't stand buying a 6-pack.
No,
You drink the first beer, you hate it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got a problem.
Now you got a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna stomach it out, but
Right.
I mean,
But it's,
the
you
fact
know-
is, there's other good beer that you can enjoy at the
Yes.
same time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Let me try one to see if I like it. I'll come back for more.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Bernard online still?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We didn't
sir.
get your five.
Yeah, we
We
got to
need
we got to
your
get
list.
your top 5, man. Your top 5 beers of 2018.
Okay. I know you guys really like Double Dunk, and I do as well. But this year's version of Paradise was definitely one of my favorite
That was
Yeah.
good.
beers to drink.
Yep.
Prairie is just really consistent with Paradise. The hint of coconut in there,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's wonderful for my palate.
Y'all gonna
Yeah.
see some
Yeah.
Bourbon Paradise in a minute, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of barley wine and White Oak from the brewery. I know that's a regular release for them, but I drank quite a bit of that this year.
Okay. Okay.
The maple bacon coffee porter from Funky Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
that was great stuff. I don't know if you guys get Funky Buddha up that way.
We don't.
We do what we do now. They
But-
just
oh.
we spotted a few bottles of Marshall Zukoff a few months ago.
Oh, that's right. That's
And,
Cigar City, isn't it?
You're right. That's Cigar
Yeah,
City, not
Cigar
Funky
City,
Buddha. My
yeah.
apologies. Yeah.
Same area though. Tampa,
Exactly.
Fort Lauderdale, kind of
Florida
area.
man. You know.
Florida. I'll be down there, so I'll be on the lookout for some.
Oh, Florida man.
Florida man.
Okay, what else you got, hon?
Well Works French Toast.
Solid.
Out of all of the Well Works offerings that Daniel sent us, French Toast was my favorite.
I forgot about the Well Works because that Nutter Butter was pretty dope too.
Oh man.
That was a good one too.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2018 being I guess we could say definitely a standout year as far as the Northeast IPAs go. Hop Showers from Other Half was by far my favorite.
Haven't had that one either.
I've not had that one.
A lot of pineapple. There was a lot of citrus, a lot of pineapple in that one. And I don't know exactly what hop combination they used, but it was just absolutely the freshest and great mouthfeel, and the color was an orange that almost glowed in the dark.
Straight up.
Wow.
But from the minute I cracked the can open, the aroma just blew me away, and that was a great beer. If you guys get a chance, definitely hunt that down.
So is that something? Because you guys, they don't distribute down there, do they?
No, they don't. A friend of mine came back from New York.
Yep.
And he helped me out with that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many.
I'm going to have an honorable mention too.
All right.
And that would be the Great Divide Fresh Hop Pale Ale, because that was just a go-to beer I could go to on one of the plus 90 days we had where it was plus 90 degrees.
Got you. Okay.
Said it 90-90, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's something to be said for a beer that you can drink on a hot day like that. For me, Zombie Dust is definitely one of those.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Zombie Dust is a fresh Zombie Dust will beat just about anything in the pale ale category for me.
It's one of those places where no matter how, doing Chicago, I'll always stop there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit off the beaten path from
Right.
the freeway, but it's worth it because you can get a case of Zombie Dust for about $40.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's great beer. I mean, just drink it fresh.
Right.
Always fresh with that stuff, but it's great beer. Great
Grady,
beer.
you said you were going to get into your theme here after the
yeah.
break.
All right.
Yeah, I got a theme.
So we talked about it
Yeah.
a little bit, and I maybe should take my headphones off and put in earplugs. So I don't
Man,
even really
no,
wanna
I
hear
mean, you
this
know
song.
how I am. I'm a Michigan
Go,
man. I
Blue.
love
You
it.
better
Hell,
be. Go
yes,
I
sir.
tailgate. I go to
Team, team,
games.
team.
I do. I mean, I love
That's
it.
right. You do
Yeah.
I
tailgate.
tailgate
Yeah.
hard.
We got it right.
I tailgate hard.
I missed it
to the
this
point
year.
where there may be some pictures of me out there of me sleep.
Hey, shout out to Dave Malcolm. I know he tailgates pretty
Yeah,
hard.
Yeah.
Hey, he's out there
Yeah.
with us now too.
Yeah.
He joined the fold.
My man.
Dave.
That's a good brother right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know David Malcolm.
I
don't you?
do, I
Yeah,
do.
See, everyone comes there.
Anybody from
Our
Ann Arbor
tailgate.
knows Dave Malcolm.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's like the
Yeah.
unofficial mayor of Ann Arbor.
Exactly.
He
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Yeah, so because he brings his whole family out there plus his extended family. I
Oh,
love the dude, good dude.
all right.
As a matter of fact, he's coming to my wedding.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
that.
see?
All right.
Okay.
We
But-
got a date.
we're not?
Right.
I'm sorry.
This is this the invitation?
Oh yeah, it is. As a matter of fact,
Oh,
all those in radio land, the internet land. It's June 21st.
Okay.
Actually, we're getting married in Mexico.
Congratulations,
nice.
brothers.
Wedding, so-
All right. All right.
That's why it hasn't been public. Cause
Got you.
I expect
it
lots
costs
of
a lot.
pictures.
It costs a lot of money. To
I'll
get
check you out
all
when
y'all
you get
people
back.
there. Yeah, I'll come and have a beer with you,
Please.
or two.
Or two. Or four.
And your
Or four.
your lovely bride as well.
Yes.
No, she can't come. She
can't?
drinks too much.
What?
She
Aw.
drinks.
Oh,
if
come
you
on.
saying she drink too much,
Drink too
Right.
much, man. Whew. Hi, Sarah. No.
Right.
So, going back to my theme. So, I mistakenly made a bet with some of the for the different group with some guys from Ohio for the Michigan Ohio State game. So I said, look, this has got to be our year. We can't get our ass kicked for the last 19 years. It's got to be the year. We got the team in place.
imagine your surprise.
Wait. So I said, well, I put it out. I said, look, I'll bet you guys 96 ounces of beer from whoever state from the team wins. So, of course, we lost. So I owe somebody some beer. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
What you gonna give them? It's got to be Ann Arbor beer.
I'm thinking Hale.
Okay.
I'm going to give them
I like
96
it.
ounces of Hale.
Yes.
That's right. There you go.
Terrible ass beer. Oh, I'm sorry.
It is sessionable.
I don't think it's sessionable.
Oh.
But let me just divert for a second. Now, they get a lot of flack, that brewery. I won't say the name. But they had a beer called Stormy.
And it was good.
And, before the huge IPA craze, that beer was legit. And we didn't get any shout out because it wasn't fruity. It was basically a hazy.
It was a hazy
Straight up
IPA.
IPA.
Yeah. It was good.
No
too.
one liked it because, everything else, you get the M43 coming out. Everything was hazy and juicy. And so that beer got no credit. If I found that beer right now, North Peak.
Be all over it.
Right.
I'll be all
Right.
over it.
North
They
Peak.
make
What's up
some
with
other
that?
good stuff. They make some other good things.
And go.
Like what?
I like chestnut. They make a chestnut hazelnut. No, okay.
I'm not hip.
I
I'm
like
not hip.
their-
I mean, either. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting
Right.
to let
I
you
like.
know.
They have a cherry hibiscus that I like. That's good in the summer.
Okay.
Cherry
They make some
hibiscus.
other good
Okay.
stuff.
Sounds like too much going on for me.
Yeah.
I like hibiscus. I like.
Is
that.
it a pale ale?
I don't know. I have to look.
All right.
But we drank a couple of them at the lake this summer. It was nice.
Okay. At the lake. Okay.
At the lake, we're at the lake.
Excuse me.
At the lake home.
Okay.
Well, see, if you're drinking at the lake, that sounds like you got some pinky out shit. You know,
It probably was.
My pinky is always out. You guys know this.
Oh, wait a minute. You're not wearing a tiara today.
I'm not, but I am wearing crushed velvet and Persian lamb, so we got a little. Had I
beautiful.
known.
What is it? Velvet?
Velvet?
Yeah.
I'd have worn my tiara for you guys.
Thank you. Next, you know, maybe for a wave. You know, not the studio. She comes
Okay.
to the live.
Oh, yeah. Maybe for dinner with Brewz Brothers.
I'm gonna see.
You show up at the spot with a tiara.
I said I was gonna take a break and stop doing stuff, and now you guys, I didn't know about this.
Whatever.
Anyway.
So go back to my thing so I can start drinking again.
Okay.
So I am going to give a shout out to the state of Ohio.
Oh.
Unfortunately, because we've gotten our ass kicked.
On purpose, though.
Yeah, on purpose.
Hey.
But there's a reason, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason.
Because you're being forced.
No, because this particular brewery in Ohio makes phenomenal beers. That's the best thing out of Ohio.
All
Period.
right.
I mean,
and
I have family there, so
on the real, shout to the homie Ethan Johnson.
is he in Brewz Brothers?
He's not, and we gotta.
No, we can't invite him. Man.
I was gonna say, man, he'll be raising hell in there.
Yeah,
he'll be the other Matt Bush.
Yeah, we can't have him there because then he start chugging shit. And then,
But-
he
He looks out on Ohio beers, man. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be up on Hoof Hearted the way that I am.
Yep. Shout out to Bodie from Columbus.
Shout to Bo.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's good beer.
Yeah,
That's good beer.
Yeah.
But
My cousin / brother brings me some every time he comes up from Columbus. So
when's he coming up again? I like
soon,
beer.
I hope. Yeah, I know.
I like beer.
Did I give you some?
Yeah,
Bodie
you
last
did,
time?
and I was
Okay.
appreciative of it. I think I drank it with you. As a matter of fact.
You may very well have. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got some Jackie Old beers here, and they had a huge release about a little bit over a month ago.
Because it's Jackie O's day, right?
It was Jackie O's Day, yeah. Actually, they have another one coming up on the 4th or the 5th of January. That's
Okay.
like the 13th anniversary. There's a special beer coming out that day. I unfortunately will not make it down there because it's a 4.5 hour ride. But I have these
On
beers
top of
here.
the cost of the beer.
Yeah, and the beers are relatively expensive, but
Yeah.
they make great beers, and I can't get enough of them. So I brought 4 beers. I brought Champion Ground, which you heard Harry say that was
Phenomenal.
It was
phenomenal.
very
It's a
good.
bourbon barrel aged stout
Yeah.
Okay,
with
Ohio.
Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee in it. I also brought a Black Maple, which is a bourbon barrel Imperial Porter. This says maple syrup and aged in bourbon barrel. So this ought to be really interesting.
Sounds like
too.
that should go up next.
I wonder how it compares with Double Stack. Because Double Stack was one of my beers of the year. But you can't, I only got that much.
Yeah, you just got to taste. But Double Stack was dope, as was the Nugget Pancakes?
I haven't had that one, but I've had a lot of.
You
Double
haven't
Stack
had
couple times.
that?
No, I haven't. Did we have it at a share?
I thought we had it.
I know Dan brought.
we'll have to get that. We'll have to-
You all brought something. Was it Double Stack?
Juho brought the Double Stack.
Okay.
We'll work that out, man.
Yeah.
I may or may not have a can that I could put your name on, brother.
And I have, and I appreciate you. I have Black Mask here, bourbon barrel aged,
Yeah.
stout with cocoa nibs and vanilla beans.
Okay.
And I need my pronunciation expert for this one here.
What's it called again?
She said, "What's it called again?" Because she said my Spanish sucks.
Oro Negro.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to roll.
You got to roll the tongue.
Oro negro.
Oro negro. Okay. So we have
So
some
what does that
Ohio
mean
beer.
in Spanish?
Black Gold.
Black gold. All right.
Oh, okay.
There. Okay.
Symbolic. What's that? What it say? Message.
There it is. There.
So we're gonna sip some Jackie O's beer tonight,
All right.
and because I suck at betting and my Michigan team suck. But in basketball,
year.
we got that ass. In basketball.
Oh man, listen.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you.
We undefeated, right?
Oh,
Should be number 3 in the nation right now.
2,
2.
right behind Duke.
Boo.
I don't think you want Duke though.
Man, I don't want them problems, man.
Man, Duke got this one dude. I don't know what his name is.
I don't know either, but I hear he's a bad man.
Yeah, they said that Zion is like a cross between Shaq and LeBron because he's bigger than LeBron and he's strong like Shaq.
They also
That's
said that
sick.
if he were in the NBA, he would be the second heaviest player in the league
And yeah, you see this dude jump
as a
out the
freshman
gym.
in college.
You see him hit his head on the backboard.
Yeah.
Try to block a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to beer.
Yes. Yes.
Because this is not Brewz Sports, is it?
It's not.
Sportscast?
Well, I mean, we could turn it into that.
I mean, I like
because
sports.
Wayne's a huge basketball guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we wanted to talk college basketball, I'm sure we could, jump off into
I'll
that.
just nod and smile for this portion of the podcast.
Well, so we can't leave Sasha out. So I guess we'll have to postpone Sports Brothers.
I mean, I think
We can talk about LSU.
What
Talk
about
LSU.
Oh, they
Why
won.
would we
They
do
won
that?
the game
Yeah.
They did.
barely
Barely still counts. Don't.
to the national champions of last year.
Hey, you know what though? I think that LSU would have lost that game if those cats from Florida had not devoured that quarterback on that interception. It's like it lit a fire under them guys.
Yeah.
After that,
man.
they were all over. All over.
Do you think that if they had the regular quarterback, their first three, that they would have won that game?
I mean, it was only a one touchdown game as it was.
Yeah,
I think they'd have had a better shot at it.
Yeah, man, that was a good.
Yeah.
game.
Did he just not play?
He got hurt.
That
What, he
kid.
broke his leg or something.
Yeah, I was about to say
like
he
that?
beyond got
Is it
hurt.
Guy? Who is it? Is it Guy?
I don't know his name. Is.
That's not Guy. No.
The-
Somewhere right now, Rico's
Their
mad.
starter
He was
destroyed his leg,
Ooh.
maybe, or it's probably career ending.
Yeah, he's
I don't
probably
know.
done.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
probably done. So
But it would have been a different game, I think. If that kid had played. But so yeah, LSU did win their game. I know you were a big.
I love LSU. I love LSU because I'm going to move to New Orleans one of these days, and I know it's in Baton Rouge, but that's okay.
Louisiana
Baton
Sports
Rouge.
University.
Right. That's it. If you live in Louisiana. One of
Yeah,
these days, y'all have to send me beer because all they got is Parish. So
Parish is good.
Parish
but
is
they
good,
also
but,
got
you know.
can't remember. I got some beer from Greg Jones some time ago, and it was an NEIPA, and I can't remember what the brewery was, but it was really good. It was really good.
I only know Abita and Parish when I was there.
Yeah.
we got a lot of feedback.
Abita's marginal at best.
Yeah, but Abita's what you drink when you're there. But I drank that cane break when I was there from Parish. That was good. A lot of that. That was good.
Did you get any Ghost in the Machine?
No, when you told me to get it, I asked
did.
you about it.
I did.
We drank too much cane break to get out to the brewery. you know.
Poor planning.
Yeah.
Poor planning.
I was drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Damn
Well,
daiquiris to
that's
get
what
you.
New Orleans is for, right?
I know.
Louisiana's
Oh, it was
for.
great. I love Louisiana.
So I know you had your hurricanes, huh?
Not really. No.
Oh, man.
No, I like them cheap ass daiquiris.
Mm.
From
The ones that come in the gallon jug with the big straw.
And it's just so hot, and you just get like an extra shot in there. It's
Oh,
good.
man.
It's
And
hot
by the
outside
time you
and
get
nice
to the
and
bottom
cold.
of it, you realize
you
you're
don't
drunk.
you don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
yeah.
So we drank a million of those.
Some hand grenades. You get the hand
Saz-
grenades.
and
throw 'em in the
Sazeracs
basket.
and just
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. Ton of
Just
that cane break though. I drank like 6 of those. You know
Just
what? That's
a
another
long
story.
drunken time that you may or may not remember.
I remember most of it.
Most of
Most
it.
of it?
Well, you don't
Just
remember
the
what you
important
don't
parts,
remember,
right?
So you know,
Right, so
Exactly,
it don't
yeah.
matter. The important parts you remember, right?
That's
you got
right.
there and you made it home.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great city. I love
I
going
love
there.
New Orleans. Oh, don't get me started. I'll talk about it all night.
Yeah, we had a mancation there.
Oh,
That was not a good idea.
I have some point of clarification, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Mancation.
Mancation.
Can you explain a bit further what that
So
entails?
there's a group of about 7 or 8 of us.
Yes.
All men, and we're, we try to live our lives the right way. So we want to let our hair down because we ain't got much hair to let
I
down.
understand.
But we let it down, and we pick a place on the map, and we go there. We invade the city, and we just
And you do your thing.
and we also give back community too. So we feed the homeless.
Okay.
We volunteer. and-
You don't have to justify.
Oh no, I'm
it.
justifying it. 'Cause somebody might be listening.
We don't just go and tear the city up. We
we tear the city up, but we do it with a purpose.
Okay.
So we donate money. One kid needed some money to go to a college store, so we pay for his college store to go.
All right.
So I mean, we do certain things in the area, but went there in New Orleans,
the
and
hurricanes?
yeah, hurricanes was bad.
At
But
O'Brien's.
one of my good friends said he had to get the hell out that city, so he left 2 days early because he said this is ridiculous.
can't do it anymore.
Can't do it because it was that bad. I mean,
What?
because you think about it,
You got to force me to leave.
No, because we're
You get down there, you really just eat and drink.
right, and so the drinks are not overly expensive in terms of other places you can go. So there was times we bought the bar out like 2 or 3 times, and he looked at his credit card statement. He said, "I get the hell out of here."
Yeah, I overspent a little
Oh
bit.
yeah. So you see when he left. So
Bernard, do you get over to Louisiana often being so close
Much
relative
closer than
to us? Right.
I think
Maybe,
you don't want to talk
maybe
to
not.
us no more.
I don't think he likes us anymore.
Right. You still there, Bernard? All right. Okay.
So,
Well,
open a bottle. I think we need.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you got all this good Jackie O's over here, we were talking about that maple porter.
Let's do it.
Let's pop that.
Now I want some Parish.
You want some Parish now? Well,
Some Parish.
again, I mean, we got connects,
Make it happen.
throughout the
Oh.
continental U.S. and maybe beyond. I'm sure we could manage to get a hold of some Parish.
Every time I say I want something, it shows up.
See, yeah, manifest. Speak
Fairy
it into
godfathers.
existence. There it is. So what's this new pouring grape? This
Okay.
is
The black maple. There's
black
two
maple.
versions this year. They had the regular bourbon barrel aged. They had a coffee barrel aged coffee flavor one as well. So I didn't
coffee
bring
and
that one.
maple. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't bring that one unfortunately. I only had one left. So someone raided my cellar.
That is
Wasn't
the
me.
tiniest pour I've ever. That is the anti-Grady pour.
Listen, because
Oh man.
if I get more if I want it, but I can't hang with y'all. Have me passed out on the floor.
No, we wouldn't do that to you. We wouldn't do that to you.
That's really good.
Great nose on it. Great nose on it. Yeah.
Little bit.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Jackie O doesn't disappoint. I mean, they do good beers.
So my first experience with Jackie O's, we had a share at my house, and I don't remember if Dan went, but I know Juho had gone down and brought back like boxes of Jackie O's, and we were like parceling it out in my living room.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had some donking going on there.
There was some donking going
Donking
on.
going on,
Yeah, shout out to Mark Donkers.
I know he's on.
Yeah,
I know he's on.
right. He's either on or he's going to hear it at some point. But
Yep.
yeah. Hey, Bernard, we were just talking about New Orleans, man. Do you get over to Louisiana often? You being so proximal relative to where we are.
I don't. It's purposeful because that's dangerous.
That's exactly what
That
we
was
just
my
came
point.
up with.
That
Yeah.
was my point. Yeah.
I'm so close to, it's like almost any weekend you could be like, hey, let's go over there. I could get the mega bus for $8. I don't even have to drive.
Why'd you tell me this?
You
that's
just
the
got to
problem.
stumble your way back to the bus.
Damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, I know some haunts that if anybody's going in the near future, I can off air let you know.
All right. Listen, I don't need a reason to go. So you inbox me. Tell me where you
Man,
go.
I can only
I'll
imagine what
gladly
kind
get
of
down there.
damage we might
'Cause when
do in New
Okay.
Orleans after some of those long nights at Porter Street Station.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I go to the same daiquiri place every time. I will pass. I don't know how many daiquiri spots to go to this particular one.
I really need to know. the
Yeah,
name
it
of
sounds
this
like you got the
place.
plug. Like,
Dude.
yeah, you might need to rap with Bernard before you go
Do it
down
right
there
every
next time.
time.
So.
Yes.
$6 for a gallon, and I'm telling you.
You said $6 for a gallon?
That's almost as cheap as gas, man. And I presume you don't need more
Just
than
as
one.
strong.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And although you might not need more than one, that doesn't mean you're not going to have more
Yeah.
than one.
It's 24 hours in a day.
No, with this spot, 1 gallon to do you. Trust me.
All right, Bernard, I'm not kidding. Inbox me.
Yeah.
I've been to New Orleans more times than I have fingers.
There it is there.
Yeah, well.
Inbox me.
That'll work. Yeah, that that's definitely a plug to have. Because, New Orleans is one of those places that there's plenty of tourist places.
It is.
But then there's the places.
Correct. Correct.
Yes, sir.
And the good thing about going with a group of guys, you tend to be able to do things a little more off the beaten path because you're larger numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take my kids there or my wife. In
wait,
some
hold on.
cases, into the off-beaten places.
Right.
Now we're tourists. Now we're going tourists.
All right.
But sometimes, we it get a little dicey.
You're not gonna go in the hood.
No, I ain't
New
gonna take her
Orleans.
there. No. I mean, let's have a tour guide. Someone knows the area well. Then that's not an issue. But we just go, And typically, my rule when I vacation is if we go on the street, it look a little dark, there's nobody there, you turn around, go the other way. That's how I vacation.
Rule of thumb. There it is.
So
There.
we're not gonna do
Not just for New Orleans, but
no,
anyway.
in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so when I got down to New Orleans and I had the fellas, it was something else.
Yeah.
When did you go last?
This was about 3 or 4 years ago. So we just rotate. We've been to Las
I was
Vegas.
about to say y'all hit Vegas.
Yeah. We went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Gatlinburg,
Gatlinburg?
Tennessee.
Off the hook.
Yeah.
It's-
All right. I
it's
got
off
some
the hook.
Nashville family that keeps saying
man.
we should
went
do
to
that.
Miami. Miami was
Miami's-
bananas.
Miami's fun.
Okay.
Yep.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Okay.
And where else have we been? We've been a couple other places too. I can't think of the top of my head. But
Passed up a chance to go to Phoenix this year.
Phoenix is hot.
Like it's a dry heat thing.
No,
Who
it's
wants
still
that?
hot.
You know, while we're talking about these warm weather destinations, I hope a trend that continues in 2019 is to see some better lagers being produced, because
Man,
when
listen.
you're in those
Yes.
and it's hot and steamy like that,
Yes.
a lager is
Just-
preferred, because
Yeah.
if you want to be drinking, you can't be outside in 95 degrees and 95% humidity
Yeah.
drinking some of the stuff that we would usually
Yeah.
be drinking.
Yeah, we
Because
gotta
even
get
these
some
indie
Wolverine down,
I
IPAs
was
get
gonna
heavy,
say,
man. Like
we
you
need
said,
to
you
get
need a
some
lager,
Wolverine
man.
to you.
We have some Wolverine down to you. We'll have to make that happen. We'll definitely make that happen. Wolverine. Have you had anything from them before?
I have. I can't
Okay.
remember
You had-
exactly
you
what it
probably
was.
had
The
Massacre.
Massacre. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's good, but it's heavy for what you're talking about.
yeah. They have a
Still like
barista.
14.5% or something like that. Yeah.
You've had the barista before?
The barista is nice.
Boy, that's good
I
stuff.
haven't
man.
had. Didn't they barrel age that barista?
They did.
I haven't tasted
They
it.
did.
I
They
tell
do
you, man, again,
phenomenal things
and I
with
think I said
lagers.
this
Yeah.
last time we mentioned Wolverine. Shout to them for sticking to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like all they do is lagers,
And
That's
they
it.
doing well.
and they do them well. They don't deviate. They know their wheelhouse and
Yep.
they stay in it.
Yeah, Gula Gula is like a standard
Yeah.
staple,
Yeah.
and that's good beer.
And they're straight up Wolverine lager.
Yeah.
That's-
Wolverine
yeah.
Lager is good stuff.
Good
so
stuff. Good
you
stuff. They're
can't go
doing
wrong
good
with
work
those
over
guys.
there. That Mexican hot chocolate
Did you get some?
massacre.
Yeah.
I did.
I didn't.
I
Get
brought some. You
Shout
didn't
to
come
Sasha.
to the
See,
share.
it was at the share. It was dumb hot at the end, but the middle was good. Like
It
the hot
was
chocolate
hot,
in the
yeah.
open to the middle, it was great. But then that
Yeah.
burn at the end, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping some of that cinnamon falls off.
You know, I think I can recall seeing you at that massacre day.
I think I did maybe
Yeah.
bump into you.
You did, and I was fucked up
Yep.
because
Felt like you were gonna censor that at first, and then
No,
you were like,
no,
"No,
no.
I need to say it."
because so they give you these nice, samples. They're like 3 ounces,
Huh?
and these 14%. Oh man, it was.
Yeah, they
Oh,
catch up with you
yeah,
quick,
get
brother.
You quick, and
Yeah.
they're great beers.
They are.
They do good stuff. They do good stuff. So
Yeah, maybe we hit up Wolverine while you here, Bernard.
Yeah.
And
Don't you dare come to my city and not
Shout out
invite
to
me.
Ann
uh
Arbor.
oh.
Don't y'all better tell me.
If you
We'll,
don't
we'll,
better
we'll
I
make,
see
we will
it.
make sure you are in the know.
and if you actually
'Kay.
go to Wolverine, you got to hit up Holmes.
Yeah, because it's
Dude.
right up the
It's
way.
right up the street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
King
yeah,
Cold
yeah.
Brew. I will.
Yeah.
King
do
Cold
that
Brew
little
is dope.
horn all the
And
time.
again, those their IPAs are on point.
Mm-hmm.
For those people that like sours, I hear that they're doing some good work with some barrel aged sours and all of that sort of thing. So Wayne probably will be hitting some of that up. Sour Wayne,
Sour tart.
right? Hey, and you see,
Vinegar
you see I'm gonna get him while he's not even. He's over here agreeing. He's shaking his head like,
Yeah.
"Yep, I love sours."
You
I love
feed
him.
to the censored bird.
You can only speak. You can't point it, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I really hope that people take cues from Firestone and Founders and continue to roll out just a regular old lager that we can all enjoy drinking, because going to beer halls and beer gardens down here in the summer and walking up to the board and seeing a bunch of double and triple IPA
Yeah.
when
Right.
it's 95 degrees, it's still 7 p.m.
It's not so
Like, come
appealing,
on.
right? Right. And Bill's does a good lager in the summer, Quinnigan Falls lager,
Yeah.
Yep.
which is an
Yep.
imperial pale lager, and it still is like 7.5%.
we get here,
Oh, you
but
get Quinnigan
it's never
Falls? Okay. Did we lose you?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that Quinnigan Falls is actually one of the things that I anticipate when the summertime hits. Yeah, once Oberon drops, I know that Quinnigan Falls is not far behind.
I
so.
still love Oberon.
See, and now I was about to
I don't.
segue to that one.
I
I mean,
don't.
Oberon, it was good for a while. I mean,
Is it? Has it gotten worse, or has your palate changed?
Probably both.
Both.
Because I can still enjoy an Oberon. I still get excited when it gets released. I mean, it's an Ann Arbor thing.
It is.
People
It's-
get excited about it.
Yeah, it is.
So I can still enjoy that. But it is not the best beer I've ever had, but it's good in the summer,
Yeah.
warm day.
It's
Orange
sort of
Light,
like, when
little Grand Marnier.
oh, that's the way I drink it. I mean, that's the hey, I got
Man,
it was good. Wasn't
I
it?
went and ordered that, and I was after one Oberon. I'm like, shit, I gotta go home.
Oberon,
Just
clogs, rubber boots. That's the Ann Arbor uniform.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah,
No.
Birkenstocks.
With socks
with
on.
socks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
wear my Birkies with socks. I am not
See?
ashamed.
Oh, that's right. We can't call them Birkenstocks. You got to call them Birkies.
Anyway,
And I guess dude wears Crocs, right? We wear Crocs.
I have not. I don't have Crocs. They're not comfortable to me, but Birkies are comfortable to me. So
No.
Well, yeah. Well, and again, so to your point about Oberon, whether it's not a good beer or if the industry has caught up, I mean, I really do. I don't think they've changed the recipe.
They haven't.
right,
I think
right.
the industry has caught up. I mean,
Yep.
when I first started drinking Oberon, I didn't have a zombie dust to compare it to
True.
in
Yep.
the pale ale category.
Yep.
Yeah, true. I
But
give you that.
now, or in the wheat ale category rather,
give
but
you
now
Mm-hmm.
there are other breweries that are doing
But-
things that are better than Oberon.
It's sort of like same thing with phenomenon with Hop Slam. When you had earlier versions of Hop Slam, it was a lot better than it is now. And I think maybe because they mass-produced it, it just loses its flavor. Or again, maybe the industry has caught up. But I can vaguely remember Hop Slam being a lot better earlier on. when I was
Bernard,
drinking.
have we kicked some holes in some walls behind drinking a bunch of Hop Slam?
I believe so.
Man, when Hop Slam first dropped, and you know, when craft beer first got popular, it was this contest to see who could create the strongest beer, as opposed to, you know, a quality contest,
Yeah,
which is more it's developing into these days. So we would get a 6-pack of Hop Slam and drink it like it was a 6-pack of Bud Light. Like, oh, we got 6, we drinking 6.
Right. Yeah.
So drinking 6 of those versus drinking 6 Heineken or Oberon or whatever is a different animal.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
a whole
it
different
is.
story, man.
Yeah, and then you chasing that with Jameson or whatever we might manage to be chasing with at the time, and you end up with holes in walls and blank spaces in your memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When is that release for Hop Slam? It's coming up, right?
Like
There.
that's right. Kick some holes and some stuff.
Yeah, it's coming up. It should be.
Yeah.
What's today? January 2nd. So the next is usually mid-February, early March.
Yeah.
So
Alrighty.
it's coming up.
You know, the first time I met Juo, he probably was not remember this. We were actually looking for Hop Slam. I saw him at Meyer on Jackson Road. Looking for Hop
Magic
Slam.
Meyer.
The Magic Meyer.
Magic Meyer. That is a Magic Meyer, just to let you know. But,
Mhm.
and I was like, who is this guy? But, you know, I kind of blanked out. And like, lo and behold, I saw him a couple months later, and Hop Slam guy. Yeah, but
So are we
Small
chasing?
world.
Are we buying Hop Slam?
I'm not.
I will.
I'll get one on tap at Fraser.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, maybe.
And that'll be it for me, because that's
Yeah.
all I need. I don't need
yeah.
cans that lay around
That's
the house.
how
I
I've been
don't
the
do
last
it.
They're
couple
doing
of
mini
years.
kegs, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, I know.
I make that face.
I made that face because one year we had a mini keg at a Super Bowl party that I attended.
Okay.
We drank the mini keg, and we also drank a half gallon of Jameson.
Oh, that's a shitty
And
day.
it was
It's a shitty next day.
yeah, it was. That might have been the Super Bowl that started me to taking the day after the Super Bowl off.
Wise man.
Yeah,
Listen,
You know,
fellas.
we got to get that day off as a holiday,
It's-
man.
I mean,
It's like the day after Thanksgiving. Who's
Yeah.
gonna do
Yeah,
it the next
yeah.
day?
Nobody.
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 Nobody. So I take it off from work. I just
Yeah.
tell them, you know what? If you want me to come in, I'll come in, but I ain't gonna work the
Don't
damn.
expect much.
I'm
from
not
me.
gonna work the damn.
I mean, one year, and this is when I was, single and didn't have any other mouths to feed.
Yeah.
So going to work, half in the bag was like. So I went and I was there for about an hour. My boss was like, "You probably should just go home."
Aw.
She was like, "I know yesterday was a Super Bowl, and I have a pretty good idea what you may have been doing. Just go home
Yeah.
and come back tomorrow."
It's like one of the biggest drinking days of the year. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
And the Lions never in that shit, so we don't care.
as
We
well
just
drown
drink.
your
You just
sorrows.
drinking, you know.
So
Hey, shout out to Larry Ward. We killed St. Patrick's Day one day. I started
Oh,
work
man.
really early, and I called my boss like, "Hey, I did some early morning stuff. Think I want to knock off the rest of the day." And she was like, "No problem, whatever." So we started off at Lincoln Park Brewery,
Okay.
or Fort Street
Yep.
Brewery in Lincoln Park, Kegs and Eggs, and then
No.
we hit the Oak, drinking Bell's Batch 9000.
that's a good
And
beer.
it's a good beer. It's a
good beer.
heavy beer.
Yeah, it's heavy, but it's good
It's
beer.
a heavy beer. and it turned into a work day. Like we started at 8:30 in the morning, and we were done at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So you
I
say
do
you
love
drank like
St.
it was your
Patrick's
job.
Like it was my job.
Like it was your job. Okay.
I did. So every time, anytime you see St. Patrick's Day pop up, and Larry Ward and I saying "Rest in peace, St. Patrick's Day," it's because we killed it many years ago. Many years ago. Yeah.
Well, fellas, my son just texted me and told me I had to give him a shout out. Now, my
Okay,
son,
do it.
Hi, Brandon.
What's up, B?
So I am teaching my boy. This is my middle boy, who will be 14 very soon.
All right.
I am teaching him how to identify the notes in different spirits. And
Okay.
Mostly spirits, not so much beer.
Yeah.
I'm not letting him drink it, but every time I pour something interesting, I'm like, okay, smell this. Tell me what you smell.
Yeah.
He is very good at it.
Okay.
So, hi, sweetie. I'm giving you a shout out.
Oh, that's so nice.
I'm a good mom.
Yeah,
you
Let
are.
my kid
yeah.
smell beer.
I mean, there are worse things that people
That's
do.
true.
you know,
That's
so-
true. That's true. I'm
yeah.
teaching him a skill. He can.
Yeah,
He
it's-
can become a sommelier from
He
this.
could
He can-
become a sommelier. Yeah. What'd you say, B?
She's teaching them a skill that could be lucrative later on in life.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. So yeah, that's a good thing.
All right. So
Yeah.
there you go. You
see?
got your shout out, honey.
All right. See, I hope that works out for you, sir.
Yeah. And pretty soon be sneaking us a taste.
He
of
will
that
be.
beer.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah,
He will.
my-
But he won't be drinking bullshit. I mean,
Hey.
not in my house.
Well, and so that's a conversation I actually had with someone recently. I started drinking late in the game. I didn't start drinking until I was like 22, and so by then, even just by hearsay, I knew what was bullshit, and so I was able to steer clear of it. But my conversation was more of, I'm more inclined to, when my children become close to being of age, saying, look, this is how you drink.
Yep.
Yep.
This is what you drink. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. So by the time it comes down to actually going out drinking,
Yep.
you will have already learned how to drink from
Yes.
the best.
That's exactly
And
right.
so now I don't have to worry about getting some dumb call about you throwing up from Fireball.
Yeah,
Pop
and-
off.
yeah, right.
Pop
And that's what
off.
I've done with my 21-year-old. I was like,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna hang out with Dad on your
Yeah.
21st birthday.
Yeah.
You can bring your friends, but
Yeah.
we're gonna drink good.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Dad? Just
Just
sit
right.
back.
Right.
And when I give
No.
it to you, enjoy it.
Yep.
If you
Yeah.
don't like, you don't have to drink it, but
Right.
I'll finish it for you.
Nobody
But-
told me this. Nobody taught me how to
No,
do anything.
my dad
learned
didn't
the
do
hard
it.
way.
Yes.
Yeah, so did I. So my dad, my dad was like, "Shit, drink this.
Yeah.
It's nasty, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's nasty."
Yeah.
So trying to
See,
give
my
me a shot
dad,
to drink.
the only thing I ever knew that he ever drank was Beefeater martini. So that's what I ordered when I was 21.
Oh, okay, well,
That
that's
was my
not a-
first.
Beefeater's
My
not
first
bad.
adult drink was a
Okay.
Beefeater martini at a Fridays.
Oh.
So we're not talking about a good martini. This shit was horrible.
We're talking about gin and a
But,
martini
but it's
glass.
like legacy.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It was
It's legacy.
terrible.
You know?
And then my mom only likes super fruity things, and I don't really like
Oh,
those.
okay.
So I didn't
Yeah.
learn what to drink until I got older.
I
and,
had a
you know.
long night with a half-gallon of Beefeater one time.
Ugh.
And I'm not talking about
Stop.
a 1.75. I'm talking about a true half-gallon that was purchased in the 1970s.
Something on your mind, man?
Nah, brother, it wasn't even intentional, man. I went to an older gentleman that I know very well. I went to his house. Me and a couple other guys were hanging out. And, it was the summertime. He said, you want something to drink? And I saw that he had a bottle of Beefeater sitting on the bar. And it was like this much left in the bottle. It's just a shot left in the bottle. So I said, I'll drink that. And, at the time it was a Heineken he had in the refrigerator. I said, I'll drink this and be cool. I finished the glass of Beefeater. And he said, well, do you want another one? I said, well, that was the last of that. And his response to me was something that I carry with me to this day. He said, I might run low, but I never run out. And he reached under the bar and pulled out another true half-gallon of Beefeater, wiped the dust off the cap, and cracked it open.
Oh boy!
And then
How
the
much
rest-
do you remember?
I remember all of it. Yeah. They're not good memories, but I remember all of it. Right up until, putting my key in the door of my apartment and walking right over to the couch and going right to sleep.
Yeah.
Straight to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about an early Sunday night. I was a
man.
wrap.
Was that your worst? Drunk?
No. It was not.
Oh, now All of us will share our stories.
That's another show.
We can't do it in a lot of times.
I don't even.
okay.
Right.
All right.
I don't even think. I don't know if I want to do that on the air.
Man, I got a good one.
This will be archived.
I hear
Kids
you
might
laughing.
hear this.
I got a good one in Walton Hall.
Woo.
Walton
I
Putnam.
know how Walton got
Oh,
down.
man.
Yeah.
Eastern?
Yeah,
I
man.
got one about that.
Oh,
I bet you
Easter,
do.
Man.
That's my best one down one of these days.
Easter, man.
Yeah, maybe we need to dedicate a show to that. As a
Oh.
matter of fact, Bernard and I may have a couple stories in common.
He's a good EMU.
If it involves block parties in the Eastern Market.
Yes,
definitely.
sir. Yes, sir. When that Annie Up came on, yeah.
Oh man.
I won't discuss how much we had imbibed that evening, but Eastern Market used to throw these block parties in the summer. And we were down there one night, and MOP's Annie Up came on. And when I tell you that place turned into a riot, and we were right in the middle of it. And not right in the middle like we saying we got to get the hell out of here.
No.
We was right in the middle of it like throwing gas on the fire like, yeah, Annie Up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
One-hit wonders, man.
MOP?
Come on.
Man, please. MOP got a catalog of
Hey, I
hits.
like to,
You just haven't heard them.
I just like to get him fired up.
Yeah. Hey, Bernard, get your man. He called MOP a one-hit wonder.
I like to get him fired up, man.
Hey,
Hey, look, he go.
don't hear me.
Hey, man, you still gonna help me with the vinyl, man?
No hard feelings.
I don't know. Don't
Hey,
talk bad about
nah.
UGK and don't talk bad about MOP.
You can't talk about UGK. Come on, man. That's some good stuff there.
UGK?
I hate that hurt feelings with MOP. I just don't want them to pop up while he's talking about him like that.
Right. Hey, right. Just on the real MOP, I'm with y'all. That's Grady talking bad about y'all.
Hey, look. Okay, look. If they hear this podcast,
If they hear what?
I'm gonna play the song for them. Hey, that's gonna be our exit music from now on.
Right. Hey, MOP, if y'all listening, if y'all will give us licensing to play MOP music on the breaks, we will absolutely do it.
Yep.
Absolutely. So y'all get together with Primo and sign some paperwork or do whatever we need to do. And MOP will be our intro, outro, break music, because MOP is some classic material
So
that
your head?
Sasha clearly knows nothing about.
We'll play it for you at the end of the
Okay.
show.
All right. I'm
Just,
probably
and
going to
just
be
real
indifferent.
quick, since we talked, we've been sports brothers for a minute. I'm gonna jump off into music brothers
Oh,
real
boy.
quick. Yeah, so MOP has a collection of like premier beats that nobody ever hears unless they're MOP fans. One of the best collections of DJ premier beats is on a very obscure album by the Group Home. The Group Home album, Living Proof, is a cult classic. And if you do not or have not heard that album, it might be the most consistent album of DJ Premier beats ever produced. I don't know what kind of favors they did Primo for these beats, because in terms of lyricism, those two cats are not upper echelon, but he definitely, Primo makes the album. And with that, I think we only have about a minute or so to go, so we'll start signing off. Thanks to Grady for bringing all this Jackie O stuff, man. This Black Maple
There's
is
still
great.
more.
Well, I mean, we just
We'll
going
work
off
on
here.
it.
I don't mean we'll
Okay.
stop drinking. Shouts to Better on Draft. Shouts to Podcast Detroit.
Yeah.
Episode 5, we are signing off for the culture, Brewz Brothers. We will be live at El Mary's in 2 weeks. Dinner with the Brewz Brothers. Come hang out. First 100 to sign up. You are in, and we are looking forward to it. And with that, we will bid you all good evening.
Good evening.
Episode 5 in the books for the culture. Peace.
Peace. Be out.
Bye.
Peace.
See if I can pull up some MOP.